I've got a good one here. Somebody needs to hear it, I guess. And this has got something to do with the Bible. Ain't nothing complicated, but a lot of times stuff's overlooked. A lot of people believe in evolution. It's pretty evident that they do. And I understand what I'm fixing to say is some people understand, some won't, but these people that believe in the Bible and the Word of God, and I'm talking about believing in it. It's the gospel, man. And then these people that believes in it, I guess, to a certain degree, but yet they still believe in all this science stuff. And I believe in science. If science is used in the manner that it's supposed to be, like to prove things true or false, but I think to prove things to be beyond the shadow of a doubt, which is merely sometime impossible. But the Bible, evolution requires time, don't it? Time. Now, I don't believe in it myself. There's a bad one that I cut. This Big Bang Theory, and well, I even believe in the Big Bang Theory. God said, let it be, and bang, there it was. It's the only Big Bang Theory I believe. Anyway, let's get back to the point. It requires time, evolution. Simply put, I'm going to put it simple. Simple and straight to the point. Let me go here. Evolution. Living, dying, evolving, changing. A fish turns into a groundhog or whatever, you know. By the way, there's no fossil record that would ever prove such. And the reason there's no fossil record that would ever prove stuff is because it's hogwash. That's my opinion now. And I think I'm right. But if you believe the Bible and what the Lord says, you have to understand that there was no death until there was sin. Goes back to the Garden of Eden. There was no death until there was sin. So, if people evolved into what they are, they would have had to have been death many, many years, and 100 million years, or 46 billion years, or whatever. You know, I don't know nobody that's a human that's lived that long, do you? Creation, a creator, created Adam and Eve. Sin by eating the forbidden fruit from the tree of knowledge. Sin. Actually, God killed the first things that was killed. God killed them to make clothes for Adam and Eve. Something to think about. There was no death until there was sin. That alone, among many, many other things, blows a big hole completely through evolution. Kaboom, if you believe in a creator. But if you believe in a creator and still believe in evolution, you need to regroup and that's a fact. Just something to think about. I heard one guy say one time, and actually the discussion was on evolution and creation. And he said he didn't come from no monkey, but the way some of these people acting, he's beginning to think maybe some of them did. Hey, Lord. Garlic. This could go on for hours, but not the video. It's this part of it. This very garlic right here. You can go back in the videos and you can see when I planted this last year. And here we are, almost a year's gone by, and we're doing it again. Kind of a cycle thing. But there's one thing about it. I ain't bought no garlic in years. And I've never had a shortage on it. On garlic, you never know what's gonna happen. Bad storm down there in the western banks. I guess it's plumb across the state of Florida. Well, across the panhandle maybe. A hurricane. You know, they say a lot of records, a lot of things been broken pertaining to the weather. Record heat, record storms. I tell you, one of the biggest record breakers is the record way of information traveling, and at the speed it travels worldwide. Used to, back in the 70s, I forget what they was. I guess it's in the early 70s, they was probably, how many was it? 3-point-something billion people on the earth. I'm not 100% positive of that. I ain't 100% positive of too many things. But at the rate information is spread, and when you have the world's information at your fingertips, and you're being bombarded every time you turn something on, it's worldwide. Live info. Years ago, back in the 70s, you know, you was basically at the mercy. In other words, you didn't have first-hand information all over. You know, if the news people didn't report it, or it just didn't come down the line by someone that happened to be there at the time, and they just happened to be around you at the time that they was telling the stories of the news problems and the weather phenomenons that happened, we'd never knowed it now, would we? But now we can watch Maui burn down, and then it didn't happen the same day, but lots of things around the world do happen the same day. You can be in Hawaii watching one thing, and Florida watching another, and in Russia or Ukraine watching something else, and you think, my goodness, boy, it's getting bad, ain't it? been getting bad for a long time. People just don't notice. You've got more access to more information now than you used to have. But all this unprecedented phenomena, these record-breaking temperatures. This record-breaking temperatures they're talking about right now this year, they've talked about this year, record-breaking from when? The last 30 years? Or since back in the 1800s, or I don't know. The hardest thing, I'll say it again, the hardest thing that you'll find today is the truth. The facts, the truth. I don't mean a bunch of people, here's a little report on the TV or whatever, and then they run and make them a story out of it, and the next one makes them a story out of it, and before the last one makes their story, it's a complete different story. So that's what I'm saying. The hardest things you'll find today is the real truth. I mean the truth. Not repeating what someone else said. And of course that's human nature. That's what they do. They hear a news story and they get about half the facts down, or information, which even the facts that the news stations puts out could be true. Could be a complete lie. Garlic, and more garlic. No fossil record. Ah, Lord. The missing link. You know why they can't find the missing link? Because there's no link. Ah, Lord. Oh, there's going to be. Yeah, Lord have mercy. There's going to be. Yeah, there's going to be a missing link. They'll create one if there's no problem. Sometimes they'll create problems, won't they? If there's no reason for things, sometimes they'll create a reason. Said if there's no excuses, they'll make up an excuse. Getting cool today. Not near as cold as it was yesterday. A little breeze blowing. You don't have to pull this paper off like I'm pulling off here. It'll just fly everywhere. Because it will come off eventually. Pretty good size cloves of garlic. I've grown bigger. Seen an ad the other day, a post that said Crystal Restaurant, Crystals, whatever you call it, was no longer accepting cash. Well, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. protest it. That's my advice. I don't know if that's everywhere, but I'll assure you that the franchise is everywhere. I mean, it's the same franchise, more than likely. It means Kentucky Fried Chicken will be next. It's untelling who owns the conglomeration of restaurants. Oh, it's convenient. It's convenient to whip a card out, especially when people, I don't know how to put it, too lazy to pull a billfold out, or I don't know. Afraid they'll lose the cash, or afraid somebody will rob them, or you can make excuses up all day like that of why people would not want to deal with cash. You might as well not deal with it. When you're packing around, when you're packing cash, you're packing something that's not worth a paper it's written on. But when you do away with that cash, what's happening is you're going digital. And most people don't even understand that they already are practically. You pay your bills over the computer and telephone, and I'll assure you none of the cashless society ordeal is for your convenience. They'll make you think it is. Oh, how convenient that will be. Don't fall for it. But I know it's going to happen. Just the beginning of bad things to come. I forget what the statistics were. Somewhere, I believe here in the United States, I can't remember exactly what it was. 40 or 60% of the people, if you polled them and asked them, and I think evidently they did, but even the polled, I don't believe them, that 40 or 60% today, if they had their option, they'd go cashless. What are you thinking? And you've got some of these rocket scientists, I mean these very highly intelligent human beings, who will tell you all the benefits of going cashless. That has not a clue. Or maybe they do. Maybe they do. Who are you working for, my friend? Nah, I'll have to retract that. You're not my friends when you do stuff like that. Not at all. Actually, I would have to put them in a category of my worst enemies. I'm not worried about it. Highly concerned, but not worried. There's one that's cut. I'm going to say that was cut a little too much. That was the hoary knife. It happens. It's easy just to forget and not do this stuff like this. It's easy to say, I'll just go buy me some garlic when I need it. And that's fine. Producer, consumer. The fragile and scary part of it, without a shadow of a doubt, there's more consumers than there are producers. And I'm afraid that in the very near future, that people are going to wish that there was more producers than there were consumers. And if a certain group had their way, I'm talking about had the way with their real intentions, they could very easily be, I said if they had their way, they would be more producers than they are consumers. I've got news for them. I don't need them telling me how to live, what to do, where to do, when to do, what to eat, when to eat, how to eat. Because they're no more than I am. They may have a position which makes them absolutely no smarter than no one else. Or they can be educated in the antics of nonsense. But those very same people that people think held in high esteem, that they're highly intelligent. In what? You know, you can be highly intelligent in the life cycle of a piss saint. and not know nothing about basic economics. You start a piss ain't farm, you'd want to talk to them people. It takes a variety. A little here and a little there. When you've got one that seems to know everything, proceed with caution, I say. It's overcomplicated. People overcomplicate things. Hyped up. Most of the time, it's for a reason. And that reason, most of the time, the reason is green. And I don't mean the leaf green. I'm talking about, a note. I watch some of these people No, I don't watch the news. On TV, the news, the mainstream news, you've got to be joking. Like watching a bunch of spoilt brat. I won't even put them in a category. You do know money, dollars, is nothing else but a medium of exchange. I'd say if you went back in history long enough, this right here, this garlic, is probably considered currency, money, medium of exchange. Salt, coffee, tea, sugar, big sugar. All this hyped up nonsense. It's not really nonsense. I guess he probably got a reason to be concerned that all this fear tactic nonsense that people are spreading. I mean, some of it's just totally pathetic. It's so obvious of what they're doing that it's just crazy. I mean, they even make their thumbnails clickbait thumbnails. Leave now, act now. You have 3 days. All that old nonsense. I don't even watch that stuff. I see it, I just avoid it. Curiosity gets me sometimes. I'll click on it a little, watch it. 9 times out of 10, they'll give you absolutely no information under just a bunch of rhetoric. Oh, I fell for that stuff before. Watch it. Looking back, I think it's comical. It is funny. There's something to a lot of it. The something is bull crap most of the time. They're just doing it for trying to make a penny. Desperate, spreading fear with people. spreading fear. Fear tactics. Fear tactics, man. It's just what I happen to be doing right there. There's one that didn't make cloves. It's just an onion head like. They usually eat them. We don't want none of them. Of course, there's reasons that happened. Age could have been one thing. Of the garlic. Could have been too young, too little. Could have been a volunteer that came up. That happens. The truth. I've wondered, where's the facts? Where's the facts? The truth. How do you know what you know is the truth? Where'd you hear it at? Who told you that? Was it gossip? Was it someone just spreading a rumor? Or was it documented, proven, beyond a shadow of a doubt, truth, facts? If you don't know whether it's absolute truth and you're just spreading stuff, regardless of what it is, that old bud down the road told you, or you heard this and talking about it, and you overheard that and talking about it, you ever wonder where they got their information? Old saying, I'm going to the horse's mouth, the horse's head. Well, you have to get upstream to get the truth sometime. Hearsay. Repeated nonsense. That's been cut. We'll pass on it. Yeah, you have to get upstream sometime to get the facts. You can't if you don't see with your own eyes, and even today, you can see with your own eyes, and be made to believe a lie. Look at the ads and stuff you see on the internet. Look at look at the people real close. And they might look just a little bit odd to you. They might look off just a little bit from their real self. Their voice, it may sound just a little bit out of whack. Maybe just a little bit robotic or something. Well, if you want to know why it is, the truth is getting harder and harder and harder to find. Now, I'm not talking about finding someone that says this is the truth. I'm talking about the literal truth. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, you can bank on it. Truth. Well, I know where it's at when it comes to just about everything you need to know. And if you think it ain't, let's put it to the test. So where do you find the truth, right? It's in the instruction manual, dude. The operator's manual. Called the Bible. Bible. Holy. Holy Bible. That's my belief. And that's exactly what I believe. People tell you you're crazy. Oh, on the contrary, my friend. On the contrary. They don't believe in God. Lots of people don't. They don't believe in God. You know, the Bible covers that too. I think it goes like this. Only a fool says there's no God in their heart, you know. Only a fool. So if you don't believe in a creator, the God, what does he call you? You figure it out. That's your job. That's your job. That'll be your job to figure that out. I don't know what to say. One earth, one universe, one cosmos. One creator. One God. One Son. One Savior. One way. Regardless of what these Hollywood heroes will tell you, that there's many ways to get to the Father or to go to heaven or whatever. On the contrary, one way, through his Son. His name's Jesus, the Christ. And if you don't know him, you're running out of time. Literally. Oh, I've got to do this, and I've got to do that, and I'm too busy working, and I need to keep working, and I need to do this, and I've got this, and I ain't got time to do it. And a million more excuses. You're running out of time. We're all running out of time. Yesterday is gone. Do you remember? Do you remember yesterday? And tomorrow may never come. So what we really got watch this. What we really got is right now. Now, what we really had is now gone. So it makes you wonder where you're standing in time. I'll assure you this much. As of right now, if you're breathing, you're not standing still in time. Priorities, get them in line. It says, what have you accomplished if you gain the whole world and lose your soul? And very unfortunate, there's people every day that does that. Once that last breath's took, ain't no going back and straightening things out that I know of. No. You got a chance right now. It's all about the blood. The shed blood. the sacrificial lamb. You know, from the beginning of sacrifices, people years ago, for just the remission of their sins, was they sacrificed animals, lambs, goats. I don't know what they sacrificed. I wasn't there. I've read doves, animals. Animal blood, the shedding of sacrificial blood, animals. Then when that got an end put to it, Jesus himself, God himself, in flesh, the ultimate sacrifice, on the cross shed blood. But now that ain't where the bloodshedding ends yet. As far as I'm concerned. But for a lot of them it ain't. So in the tribulations period, the 70th week of Daniel, animals shed their blood. Jesus, God himself, shed his blood. And the people, in order to be saved during the tribulation, will have to shed their blood. They'll have to be martyred, is the way I get it. I think I'm right. Think about it. So when they say it's all about the blood, it takes the blood for the remission of sin. There's one, it's called the ultimate sacrifice, the ultimate sacrificial lamb, Jesus Christ. When Jesus first arrived here, when he started, after he got of age, I'm sure, I know. What'd he say? Follow me. He said, follow me. And then it got changed. To believe in me. Believe his gospel. There's a reason for that. That's why he told them. That's why he told them the kingdom is at hand. It's also why he told them, he said, you don't know the Son, therefore basically you don't know the Father. If you knowed the Father, you'd know the Son. Basically they're the one and the same. Almost. Almost. Should I try one more? Yeah. Let's get one more. Goodness gracious, there's several more, ain't there? But I ain't gonna get them all today. We'll take that one. I mean, I could sit here and go in over and over and over about this garlic. The whole process of this is on the internet, on my channel. From planting it to the whole shebang, till now, and it still ain't done. And it won't be done till probably the first week in October, somewhere thereabouts. And this will go back in the ground, unless something happens that I can't get to it. That's the intentions that I have. And it'll start the cycle over again. Now those pieces that I was setting out of the basket, those big pieces, can very easily go right back in the ground. But I don't see no point in it. Eat them. You're going to eat some anyway, eat them. I like to plant cloves. I like to plant cloves. Garlic cloves. There's a reason these are cloves. They went through the process of chill hours. Yeah, there's a double stalk. You can just break these apart and leave this paper on there if you want to. What Ruth Buzzy said, I could rock his chair off his porch if I wanted to. But I just don't want to. There's a little one that's fell off over there. So when you come up and run into a parrot, and he's sitting there squawking, gak, 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 spreading all this educated truths. Ask him his source of information. He'll get bent out of shape. Hey bird, where did you hear that at? Where did you get that information at? I kind of like to check the sources and see if they're credible. You ain't got nothing against me doing that, do you? No. Get the facts. You'll come more up getting the truth. You know, let me give you an example. If there's a fire, say a barn burns over here somewhere. Let's say a barn burns down. Just saying that now. Let's say a barn burns. And then you have the neighbors hearing someone, they's a talking the other day. I'm just using this for an example now. It ain't real. Probably is, but not far as I'm concerned. So we heard somebody talking the other day over at the store, and we was over at the store sitting there drinking us a Coke, eating us a bologna sandwich. And we heard somebody talking, said they wouldn't care much, just burn it down. Suspect. They're a suspect right there. Now, so they come and check them out and ask them, we heard you say that you was going to burn the barn. We want to know where you was at so-and-so and what time, and can you prove that? And do you have an alibi? Well, you're probably home watching TV. Was anybody there? Yeah, there's somebody there. Okay. Don't leave town. We'll want to talk to you again. So, regardless of whether that feller did or didn't set that barn on fire, an example, I'm saying. They'll not be able to stick him with arson unless they'll not be able to prove it on him unless he admits it or unless there's witnesses that saw him in the action of doing it. Now, hearsay, it's exactly what it is. Just here, I heard somebody say, hearsay. The facts is that we had a camera set up over there and we saw this person, whoever it may be, light the fire. If the video is clear enough that you can identify that person, a good way to do it is look for a big tattoo mark or something that stands out that's identifying. And then you're gonna have a rough way to go in court. More than likely, you're going to jail unless you've got plenty of money and you can hire you a good law firm that will represent you. And if that law firm is willing to some way make the hard drive either disappear or crash that contains the video of the accused lighting the match or fire or whatever. On the other hand, if you had one eyewitness that would swear against you in court, you're probably in serious trouble. Now, if you've got two eyewitnesses that saw that happen, you can almost rest assured, if they're honest witnesses and can't be bought off, you will can just about bank on you're going to jail. But if you've got more witnesses, more than two, let's say 500. Let's say you had 500 witnesses. That saw you in the act. You're gone, cat. There ain't even no need for a trial. I think when Jesus was crucified and was resurrected from the dead, come to life, after he was resurrected, they was over 500 saw him at one time. What more proof do you want? This is documented. This ain't a story. This ain't a novelty. It's a fact, Jack. Well, how could anyone argue against that? Even the lineage, all the way back to Adam and Eve, man. It's all there. If you so minded to, you could go back and count time. And then a lot of people think, I'll tell you what. I'm like, I forget who it was talking one time, but they keep time by Jesus Christ. You do, every day. You keep time by his existence and resurrection. Time is kept by him. And rightly so. Because I can tell you right now, he's going to be the one that controls it. Is the one that controls it. There goes another medical chopper. It's amazing that there's one Savior, one God, one Savior. In so many different religions or denominations. What do you think that happened? A bunch of sore heads. They get mad at each other. They get mad at the pastor. Something pisses them off. And then they're going to leave. They're going to leave. We're not going to that church. We're going to leave that church. And 9 times out of 10, they'll start recruiting as usual. They'll recruit. You know, like Lucifer, when he got kicked out, they say his tail drew 1/3 of the stars. I assume that, I don't know what it means, other than the stars are classified as, I think, as angels sometime. And I'd say 1/3 of them bailed out with him when you got kicked out or whatever. That's the same way in the church house. They'll start recruiting and trying to destroy the church and take half of them with them. And that's what they do. It ain't what they try to do, it's exactly what they do. And then they'll go out and then they'll start them another little church building somewhere. A church or a religious gathering place. Let's put it that way. There ain't but one bride of Christ, one church. That is the bride of Christ. I've often wondered if they can't get along here, what makes them think they'll get along in heaven or in the New Jerusalem? Ain't nobody knows the facts, man. Not yet. We've got these scholars and highly educated people that are held in such high esteem that they've even got coliseums, man. Auditoriums or arenas or whatever you want to call it. Don't make them a bit smarter. Maybe they're just sugarcoating stuff and tickling some people's ears, telling people what they want to hear instead of the facts. The facts come out of the Bible. The truth comes out of the Bible. There's an answer in there for any problem, practically, that I, as far as I know, any that will ever arise. It's there. So when you see all these things start to happen on this globe, understand that you were warned. And I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about God himself. Jesus himself, he warned people. They were warned. They've got the information. Better take it to heed, man. Heed the warning. And whether people believe it or not is totally irrelevant to the situation. Absolutely, beyond a shadow of a doubt, wrong. They're wrong. How do you know I'm right? How do you know you're right then telling me this stuff? I'm just repeating what the Bible says. Documented, proven to be true. Easier to relate to before people like Charles Darwin come on the scene. Madeline O'Hara. I think she just kind of vanished, didn't she? Yeah, Lord. Thing has a wonderful way of working out sometimes. It worked out a lot quicker if the people that was in power at the time had not allowed such lunacy to control the country at the time. So they say bad things happen when good men do nothing. It makes you wonder if they're good men when they do nothing. Maybe they're ignorant. Be a good man, be ignorant. A good and ignorant man. Well, I'm not going to believe all that stuff because I want to live. Taking vacations, enjoying life. It's good. He wants people to enjoy themselves and be happy as long as they don't steal and manipulate and rob and lie and steal. Yeah, I want to live. Well, I assure you, you will till you die. Just a short time here. You live to be 100. Would be a vapor in eternity. The only hope of living again is offered by Jesus Christ. That's it. There ain't no more. Ain't no more. No more hope other than Him. He's the only one that offers hope. and gives it to you freely. Freely. Look at that. That just pops right off. Look at there. Sticky. That stuff's sticky. It's sticky. Juicy, sticky. What's the odds of someone eating that whole big clove of garlic? I don't know if I can handle it. Just like taking medicine, I guess, that you don't like. So this is now almost full. And I'm gonna try something. Well, might as well. Big old granddaddy long legs or something crawling on me. I'm gonna count 108 of these and see. 2, 4, 6, 10. I went ahead and put 110 in there. So it's 110. So you can see there, 110. I'm going to add them back. If you can see in here, I don't know if you can or not. I'll put these back now, and we'll see where that goes up to. We'll see where that fills this back up to. So easily, there's enough in there for three rows at 110 long, 110 bulbs long. And I'm going to say that there's enough in there for probably 4 rows. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. So right there is easily enough, more than enough, I'm going to say, to plant my garlic back for next year. Now these is pretty good sized cloves, I'm telling you. Big old cloves, lots of them. There's as many big ones as there are little, more probably, more so. I was looking because I know that I had some whole ones I throwed in there before. If I could find them, I'd get them out. But yeah, there's another one. That'll do it. There may be another or 2 in there. I know they are down somewhere, but that'll be all right. Well, I can set these back up here. I might as well clean them while I'm here. That garlic was pretty potent that I just tried a while ago. Pretty strong by itself. I'll cool it off here with a little peppermint. Easiest ones that I throwed out as I run across them. Gonna eat garlic, you might as well eat them ones like that. And save your cloves. I'll have more cloves than I need. And that's a fact. I like garlic. I'll tell you one thing about it. You eat this stuff, if you're like me, it'll gas you up, boy. Bet worse than beans. It will. I guess this right here, probably as much as most people would eat all winter. I don't know. Something went walking through there. I don't know what it was. I don't know that. Well, it was a chicken. The chicken pen. I thought it was over there, but it wasn't. It's the chickens. So, I guess that's got that, ain't it? Chestnut tree over here was loaded last year. Very few on it this year. Now this one down here has got more on it this year than that one does. And these are intertwined. And sometimes I wonder if I shouldn't take them out, but I ain't going to. I'm just going to let them do what they do. One down there, it's over there, and it's not doing as well as these, same age. The biggest one is this one. And these are actually about the same. I just want to say this, if I said anything to offend anyone pertaining to Jesus Christ, good. That means that someone was listening a little bit. Walnut tree over there's broke down. It's about time to mow the garden down. Bush hog over the sweet taters. We're going to try it. That's all I can say. Gonna try it, brother. Gonna try it. Let's try it. That ought to do it for a day or two. I don't know if I destroyed my sweet taters or not, but might have, might not have. The deer's doing a pretty good job of destroying them. So I don't even know how many rows I had here. 2, I'll have to look. 2, right there's one. 1, 2 or 3. Here's one. I don't think it might give us a light and they might come back and it may have killed them. Who knows? So I've got 3 rows. 3 rows. And the deer has cleaned them off pretty good. Pretty good, I say, the deer has. Yeah, they'll be all right. Anyway, That'll be it. Knocked them weeds down. They had seed pods all over them. I wanted them down, so hopefully they won't mature. That'll be it today.